Okay, so I have not worked since sometime last week. I think the 23rd, 24th, somewhere around in there. Today's the 30th. It's the day after Memorial Day. And I just got a text about 20 minutes ago saying I've got a whole lineup of jobs. So I've got to run over to Madill, Oklahoma, pick up a set of doubles there, which I'm not doing doubles anymore, but evidently I'm still doing doubles. So I'm going to pick those up and take them to Stephenville, Texas. And then I'm going to head over to Lubbock, Texas from Stephenville. If I got this text right, let's pull it up here and take a look. Because there's a lot of stuff in one text. Okay, to Stephenville, then run to Big Tex Lubbock, to Odessa, to Big Tex Amarillo. And then they've got deliveries going to New Mexico. So I'm going to be running all week, evidently. So I'm going to be all over West Texas starting this afternoon. What I'll end up doing, because it's going to be late in the day, too late in the day when I get done delivering at Stephenville for me to get to Lubbock before they close, I'll just find some place over there to stay. And then get staged up to start this marathon Big Tech store transfer thing in the morning. Because the last time that I went over to Lubbock from Stephenville was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it took me a long time to get all that done, and I started early in the morning. So I mean, I delivered in Stephenville about 1 in the afternoon. Well, there's no way I'm going to make that because it's already 9 o'clock here. I won't get to Madill till about 11, and then it's another 4 hours, I think, from Madill to Stephenville. So that's going to put me there at 3 or 4. So I'm going to basically get to Stephenville not too long before they close, and then I can just kind of leisurely work my way over. I don't have to rush. That's a nice thing about it. There's no point in rushing, because nothing I do today is going to be bumping up against anybody's closing time, which is kind of nice for a change, because a lot of times the stuff I do does bump up against people's closing time. So I'm going to run down through Duncan and run over on Highway 7. I don't want to run on 29 today for some reason. I don't know, I've ran that way a lot, and I think I'm kind of bored with it. So we'll take a look here and see what else we can do. So I'm using my configured tri-mount in this truck right now. I hope it's not bouncing around too much. I've got it stabilized as much as I can possibly do. I've really got it tied down tightly. You know, I might be able to do a little better than that. I'd forgotten about that. I had one more loop I could go around. That might help a bit. May or may not. We'll see. Get adjusted just so here. There we go. And I'm going to stop off at the Duncan Y. See, I think before I came home last time, I stopped and topped off my diesel exhaust fluid. And my gauge says it's full. I also am full of diesel, so I'm not. The truck is. I'm not full of diesel. The truck is full of diesel. So this is all good. I'm having a hard time getting my head back in the driving game, actually, because for the past week I've been doing eBay stuff, and I just hauled out a big bag of sales this morning down to the post office. That's where I was when I got the email or the text. I was actually just leaving the post office, so I managed to get all that sent out. there's a busted deal in this railroad crossing that if I cross it in that lane, it makes it a really hard, bumpy crossing. So I kind of go around it. That's why I was veering to the right. Because if I'd stayed straight, I would have gone ka-thunk really hard. So this has been like a really good recovery for me as far as getting the bank account built back up. I've been getting enough work to build things up, but I haven't been having to run constantly and buy a lot of motels. This week's going to be different. It's going to be a motel week. I already know that. But we managed to actually get some built back up in the bank, which is really nice. After my April bills go out, it's always rough for a couple months. But here it's almost June, so see, is there a 31st to May? I don't think so. I think tomorrow's June 1st, maybe. Don't know. I'd have to consult a calendar, and I don't have one handy. So I'm really pleased at the way everything worked out today. I mean, I got up this morning. I got a good night's sleep. I went to bed relatively early for me. Sorry about all this. My sinuses are going crazy here. Typical springy summer thing. So I got up pretty early, got my bath, got all ready to go. And I had a feeling I was going today, so I double checked my overnight bag and kind of got that set up. So I didn't have to do too much when I actually did get the word. I just threw a couple extra things in and I was off and running. So this is good. I've got everything I need. So now we just have to get to Madill and see what kind of doubles these are. I hope that it's a gooseneck double set, you know, gooseneck in the front. They're so much more easy to pull than the bumper pulls, but I've got plenty of time today, so I'm not going to really sweat it either way. If it's a set of bumper pulls, I'll just, like the last one I had, I'll just do the same thing I did last time, take off the wheels, front sets of wheels on both trailers. And then that makes them so much easier to tow. They don't get all squirrely. So there's a fix for it. It's a pain in the butt. So I'm hoping for goosenecks, but if we get bumper pulls, well, we just do. Won't be the first time, that's for damn sure. I'm gonna stop up here and get a cup of coffee. So I've been doing something different with my diet lately. I've been not worrying about it. And oddly enough, I have lost a couple pounds. Just, I don't know if it's just not stressing myself out or what, but I also found this supplement stuff. It's called Provitalize. I'm taking that. It's pretty disgusting because it's, you know, it's kind of this orangey looking powder in these capsules. Well, the capsules are way too big for me to swallow, so I just break them open and dump it in my coffee. And it doesn't really dissolve into the water very well. So it's kind of gross, but I managed to get it down. I've been taking it for a while now, and I don't know, you know, there's claims about everything, what this will do for you and that'll do for you. Whether it works or not, I don't know. It may just be a bunch of hooey, but it has a money back guarantee, so I'm going to try it for 3 months, and if it doesn't help me, then I'll just get my money back. But if it does help, I'll be so happy. And it seems to actually kind of be helping a little bit. I mean, I'm not getting any fatter, so that's a good thing, because there for the last 3 or 4 months, I've just been getting fatter and fatter. And everything I've done, no matter what I do, I've been getting fatter. So it's definitely a hormonal thing. I mean, it's not like a shoveling stuff into my face thing, because I haven't been doing that. But my hormones are so whacked out, or gone, whatever. Your hormones get all screwed up, so does your weight. So it's kind of a real nuisance. Trying to figure out what to do about it. I mean, I've been battling this since 2015. So 8 years I've been fighting this. You know, fighting against this weight creeping bullshit that's been driving me crazy. So maybe this will help. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. If it doesn't, well, I guess I'll go on to the next thing to try. But I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up, because I don't want to be, you know, disgustingly fat for the rest of my days. Can't handle that. I'm going to go in here and get my coffee, though. If I can find my money. I got some here somewhere. Annoying sinuses are just annoying. Imagine that. I'll be back. Okay, so that went pretty well. I got my coffee. Also transferred it over into my counterfeit Yeti that I've actually been using as much, if not more, than I've been using my actual real Yeti. The reason I grabbed it this morning is because my real Yeti is in the dishwasher. First thing I did this morning when I got up was I put all the dishes in the dishwasher, got them started, because I had a whole sink full of dishes from yesterday and I neglected to do them last night. So I got that done, and then I checked the email, checked eBay, make sure I had everything ready to go, which I did, and then got my bath. Got ready to go, took everything down to the post office and got it all mailed out. And then I got my text, so here I am, you know. And off we go, off and running. So I've got a little lunch cooler that I use. I don't have anything cooling it, but I throw my snacks all in that. Keeps them together and keeps them clean. You know, so they're not falling down, rolling around on the floor. That's kind of a thing. So we really didn't do much over the Memorial Day weekend. I mostly stayed at home and worked on eBay and listed. I had quite a bit more of really good costume jewelry that I got listed. And it took me basically all day Sunday and all day yesterday to get everything listed and ready to go. And then I reorganized everything in the waiting area, all the stuff that's been listed and it's waiting to be sold. We came up with a system with little numbered bins and stuff. And then I've got an extra shelf. I had to add an extra couple of shelves because we've got that much stuff now. So I'm going to quit listing stuff for a while till some of this is gone, because our listing waiting area, waiting to be sold area, is pretty much full. So I was really glad I got all that done. That was kind of something that I intended to do, and finally got the opportunity to do it. So I'm pretty happy about that. So overall, you know, we didn't go out and have very much fun this weekend, but you know, that's not what Memorial Day is about anyway. It's not about, a lot of people think it's about barbecues and going to the lake, and you know, some of it is, but most of it's, you know, thinking about and remembering the people who have died serving this country. That's what Memorial Day actually is. And then if you dig down a little bit more into Memorial Day, it was also, before it was officially Memorial Day, it was called Decoration Day. And I never knew this. My mom told me about this a few years ago, not too long before she passed away. But when she was a kid, what we now call Memorial Day was known as Decoration Day, and it was the day that everybody went around and decorated the graves of their loved ones. So it was a day of remembrance, always, you know, it was always that. But it was kind of fine-tuned by the government to be a Memorial Day for, you know, veterans who died serving their country. So, you know, I have no quarrel with that. I think that's an important thing for us to remember. I think it's something that we should remember more often, because we've let things happen in this country that are counter to the things that these people died, gave their lives to protect. And I think we need to go back to, you know, abiding by the values that we had before. But, you know, that's just me. And I don't want to get too political today. I'm not in the mood. But needless to say, we didn't like have a party weekend or a barbecue weekend or any of that. We just mostly worked and and took care of things we needed to take care of. So Bill put my front splash guards on this truck, front mud flaps. They're actually splash guards, they're not mud flaps. They don't move, they're solid guards. And the reason he installed those was to help try to prevent water getting up into the DEF module area when I run in the rain, because that was when this truck malfunctioned the first time. It was in heavy rain, and I'd been running in the rain for a couple of days, and the old DEF module was cracked, just a hairline crack, but it was enough that with all the water that was getting thrown up on it from the front tires, it just, you know, got in there and it blew out that module. So he crawled under there and looked to see what we could do to mitigate that problem. You know, what could we possibly try to do? And that was what he came up with. So he got those installed. He ordered them sometime last week and got them installed yesterday or the day before. So he too was busy doing stuff while I was busy working on the eBay stuff. But this is going at a much better pace this year, all this trailer hauling business. This week is going to be comparable to the stuff that I was doing last year in the fact that I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 jobs lined up. And I don't even have all the details on all of them. I've just got just the basic outline. So this week is going to be pretty much, I'm going to be on the road all week, I think, or for most of the week, and that's good. I mean, that's fine. And then maybe next week will be slower. It's been kind of going that way. It's been going busy one week, slow the next. And that's okay with me. That's actually fine. I don't need to be busy every day, every week, all summer like I was last year, because last year it about ran me ragged. So it'll be easier this year though, because I'm not doing stacks. So unless they give me a little stack or something, that's fine. You know, I've got a few straps with me so I can do like little baby stacks, but not doing the big stacks anymore. Just not freaking doing it. I have no interest in doing stacks. It's not pulling the stacks that bothers me, it's the tying them together. It's just really hard physical work. And it's potentially dangerous because you're crawling all over these stacks of trailers, and if you're crawling on something that's up off the ground, then you run the risk of falling off of it. And a lot of people get hurt doing that. So it's just not something that I want to do, actually. And that's okay. It's all right. Of course it's okay. There's nothing that says I have to do that. I mean, I agreed to it last year, but then I decided that was enough. I'd had enough. And my broker has honored that. He hasn't asked me to pull any stacks. I just told him, I said, I'm an old lady and it's getting hard for me to crawl around on those things. It's blowing my knees out. He's like, oh crap, okay. You know, and that was no exaggeration, because I started having trouble with my left knee. And I'm still having a little bit of trouble with my left knee. You know, and that was the kind of the catalyst, the original catalyst for that was crawling up and down on those trailers. So I've been watching this guy on YouTube, the Scottish Detectorist, and I swear this guy's got to be a cousin of mine or something. It's really kind of funny because even though he's got a Scottish accent, we talk a lot alike. We use a lot of the same terms and phrases. There's got to be a family connection there somewhere, and he's got basically the same coloring that people in my family have, and his eyes are pretty much exactly the same color as mine. I don't know if it's like some kind of a Scottish thing, some Scottish gene. I bet it is though. I would just bet money that somehow we're cousins, and it would kind of surprise me if we're not, actually, because he's from the part of Scotland that my family came out of. You know, my family left and his stayed, obviously. But I would just about bet money that we're cousins. It's really funny. It's comical. But he's also fun to watch. I mean, he digs up a lot of really neat stuff, and he explains it, the history behind it and everything. So it's pretty fun for me. I mean, I like doing metal detecting, but I will never be able to dig the kind of things he's digging up, you know, old English coins and old Roman coins and artifacts, and I mean, there's just not anything like that comparable here for me to even, you know, dream about digging up. So, but that's okay, because it's fun to watch him dig it up, and I don't have to go out there and bust my ass digging the holes either, so I can vicariously enjoy it. Which is, I guess, the whole point of his YouTube channel, is you can vicariously enjoy him digging up old stuff and showing you what he found, which is very neat, actually. But it just kind of cracks me up, because I would just about swear we got to be cousins. Right, Alright, so we're making our way through Duncan, Oklahoma right now. I just turned on to Highway 7. It's going to take me a little to get through here because the speed limit is pretty slow all the way out past Halliburton. So for like the next 1.5 or 2 miles, it's pretty damn slow. Sales. Well, if I'm out all week, maybe I'll run past a few good garage sales on my way home on Friday or Saturday, depending on whenever I get to come back. Maybe I can hit a few garage sales and pick up some good stuff. Stock the eBay store. You know, people in different areas have different kind of stuff. It's strange, but it's true. I'm not sure why exactly. I guess probably just the availability of different things probably in a given area. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and drive, and then I will see you over in Madill, where we'll pick up these doubles, and I'll fill you in on all that when we get there. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm almost to the plant. We're getting there. It's just up here on the left. And we'll go in here and see what we're picking up today. That was quick, wasn't it? 100 miles gone in, what, 10 minutes? That's pretty good. It took a little longer for me. I spared you from the repetitive stuff, I think. Yeah, let's go see what we got. I don't know. I hope it's not a cargo. We'll see. We will see. I need to not get my hopes up because I'll get them shot down immediately, because what I usually don't want is what I usually do get. Alright, so they moved the office temporarily over here. They're remodeling their main building. So let's see what we got. Okay, so it's a set of bumper pulls. I'll show them to you here. It's these 210 ones right here on the right. That's what we're picking up. Kind of made myself a little more work by spinning around to show you that. That's okay. See if my camera will help me out here. Okay. Well, this is kind of a pain. Took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So this is going to be close getting this into Stephenville, because I still have to stop and have the wheels pulled off these guys. So I was testing my lights. I got to test my brakes. Okay, brakes are good. So I was testing my lights. My GPS won't stay stuck to the windshield. It's so hot. It's pretty bad. I went around to check the lights, and my hazard light on the back trailer on the right side wasn't working. So I took apart the plug just to see if everything was tight. That's the first thing you do. Check, make sure the wires are in there correctly. So I learned something new today too. He was saying that's what the problem was. I just didn't check all the wires. I checked a couple of them. I should have checked them all, and I would have had it figured out. But that's okay, because I was having trouble figuring out how it was going to go back together. And I'm going to have to wait for all these people leaving this restaurant or whatever. Come on, people, just go. Get out of the way, would you please? Just get out of my way. I'd appreciate it. So I started checking wires. I didn't get the one that was bad. They looked like they were in there pretty good. So he explained to me how these plugs work. He said they're Chinese made, and they've kind of got a little channel in there, and if the wires aren't lined up in that channel, it won't make connection. So that's something good to know for the future. So note to self, next time I open one of those up, look at which way it's sitting in there, because that was why I couldn't figure out how to do is put it back in the right way to get it to match up correctly. So I need to take a look at that before I go taking it apart next time. I thought I had it all figured out, but he needed to come out and do it anyway, because I couldn't get it to do what it was supposed to do. So I'm not going over 45 with these two trailers on back here with all the wheels on them, because that's just asking for trouble. So I'm just poking my way over here to the shop. That back trailer's being a little squirrely. Not bad, not like a cargo trailer I've pulled out of there before. So evidently these are pretty well lined up. But the wheels still have to come off. That's going to take another 10 or 15 minutes. So it's going to be 12:15 before I get out of here. So it'll probably be 4:15 or 4:30 before I get to Stephenville. Hopefully I will get there before the store closes. We will see. And it's going to be tight. It's going to be squeaky tight. And I really don't have any place I can stop. If anything happens, so I want to make sure everything's done here. Don't want to get in a bind on the road. I could leave them on and try and pull them like they are, but I'm not going to, because I don't trust them as far as I can throw them, because they're doubles and they're squirrely. So we'll see how busy they are here at the shop. Maybe they're not too busy. Last time I was here, they had 2 or 3 trucks in there, and they still broke somebody loose to come help me, so they're pretty nice about it. They're very nice about it, actually. Looks like we're busy today. That's bad. So I'm going to run around in the back. I can actually probably just do this myself. Oh great, that guy's where I need to be. He's parked where I need to be. This guy in the green semi here. It's kind of got me foobarred. I'll just turn around and come back up and park where I can, I guess. It's the only thing I can do. Unfortunately, he's where I need to be to take these tires off. That's where the guy wanted me to do it last time anyway. unfortunate. Well, we can do it out here. I'll just need some boards. In fact, I can do it myself. I just need the boards to do it. Mr. Mike.
How are you, Suzanne?
God, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, you know, we've had better days.
Oh no, what's going on?
A car pulled out in front of him a while ago.
Oh my gosh.
He made sure everybody's good, so. You couldn't park in a worse spot. We got to pump this fuel out of the thing. You need your tires taken off? If you'll just pull up there, just past my pickup on the edge, these boys will jerk them off there. Where you headed?
Stephenville.
Oh, you already built like that one.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that was bad. I'll tell you about it when I get back. Yeah, I gotta get these wheels off. I mean, it wasn't bad for me, it was bad for that guy. He got hit, or almost got hit by a car. Had to ditch his truck, I guess. So I have made it through Gainesville, and I'm on Farm Market Road 51. I'm traveling southwest right now, pretty much directly over toward Decatur. So I'm totally cutting out the whole interstate thing. This stupid GPS is still trying to put me over on the interstate, so I haven't got a decent reading yet on what my actual mileage is. So I'm going to reset it here, and hopefully it'll give me an actual reading. I should be about 140 miles out, and I think I am. Yeah, I think that's right. My gosh, it's persistent. It's persistent and annoying. So I've got about 32 miles to go to get down here to Decatur, and then about 100 more miles to Stephenville. And I looked it up, it is Stephenville without an S in the middle. I thought it was an S in the middle, but it's not. It's just Stephenville, not Stevensville. So sorry, Stephenville people, I was mispronouncing it this whole time. So I've been running right around between 55 and 60 this whole way, which is just fine with me. It's plenty fast enough. I haven't had anybody really getting stuck behind me. There's not very much traffic today, which is really super nice, because sometimes this road gets a little busy, but I usually, when I'm going through here, it's usually earlier in the day. So I've kind of missed the morning rush, which is also really nice. So it's basically very little traffic. It's pretty awesome. So down here in a little while, I'll make my halfway stop, my pit stop, which I was wanting to stop up by Madill, and I just didn't really need to at that point. But I'll stop down here and take my little break, and then we'll get back on the road, and I'll go get these things delivered. So it's about not quite halfway, I guess. this little convenience store down here. It's a really good place because they've got a big parking lot, and I go in the back side of it and park along the edge and get out of everybody's way, but I won't get jammed up in there because then I can pull right on through. So it's a good spot for pulling over with doubles, which that's usually the only time I come this route is when I'm pulling doubles. So go figure. I'm just not sure how far up here it is. Probably not more than, I don't know, 8 or 10 miles maybe. Somewhere thereabout. So the speed limit through here is 70 and I'm running about 60, so people are bound to catch up with me. So I've got a couple cars behind me now that weren't there 2 minutes ago. I'm just going to stay over here to the right and give them plenty of room, and then when they can see they need to go, they can go. There's nothing as aggravating to me as when I'm behind somebody who's going slow and they're riding that center line so you can't really see around them. You know, that makes it dangerous for everybody. It's not that difficult to just get over to the right side of the lane where people will have a chance to see around you. So when they get an opening, they can, you know, make the most of it and they can go and get around you. But I think some people like the idea that they're holding back traffic, and they kind of like that they have that power. They can screw with other people. I know, right? People don't really do that, but yeah, they actually really do, I think. I think there are a lot of people in this world who like screwing with other people when they can, because it makes them feel like, you know, like they're some kind of a big shot or something. I don't know. So these cars, they both have plenty of room to pass me, and they can see around me, and they're not doing it. So I guess they're not worried about running real fast. And I know they can see around me because I can see them very clearly back there. So, you know, they're riding closer to the center lane than I am, so they've probably got a really good view right down the side of me. And if they want to go, now's a good time to do it. Well, it would have been. Nope, they're not going to do it. Okay. I'm not going to worry about them. Running with our hazard lights on. Wonder what that's about. Guess that could be a mail carrier. Some other kind of vehicle that's stopping often, maybe. I don't know. I'm doing everything I can to let you get around me. Now would be a good time to go. If you want to go, go. Nope, neither one of them. We've got non-passers back there. They'd rather tailgate me than pass me. So be it. Some people are afraid to pass, and I get it. I mean, passing can be really scary. Passing is probably one of the more dangerous things you do when you're driving on a 2-lane road like this. You know, now they got a good long stretch. Now would be a good time to get after it, guys. Nope, no takers. All right, well. They're not going to pass me. I guess I'll pull in up here. I think my little truck stop's coming up. So I can stop and have my little break. And then I can get on down the road. I'm still 2.5 hours out. 122, 23, 24. So about 4 o'clock I'll get these things delivered, which is fine. That'll work. Pretty sure they're open till 5. If they're not, they should be. So says me. Okay, so this is my pit stop. Kind of a nice building there. So I like this because I can get in here very easily, even with doubles on. Got plenty of room to maneuver. I can let those people get by me. They're probably thinking, thank God that person got out of our way. Now we can run the speed limit. Okay, so I had my pit stop. 115, 130. Just got to figure out what this is called here. What town this is called. Because I don't know. Let's go the other way. This is a break. I feel like I should know where I'm at, and I don't exactly. I mean, I know, but I don't know what it's called. And this is Era, Texas. Okay, so I had my little break. It's all good. My logbook's caught up. That's it. Just pull in there and block me, why don't you? Maybe they won't. Maybe they're going on through. I hope. That was interesting. All right. So I am back in business here. All right. So that all went very well. This damn GPS is still trying to route me to the interstate. Even this far away, as inconvenient as that is becoming now to get to the interstate, it still wants to route me to the interstate. I swear these things are programmed to route you a certain path. And they have to be, for it to be this persistent and this annoying. And to not take the most logical direct route, and it hardly ever does that. So it's a good thing that I actually know the most logical direct route, and I have the sense to override the say-so of the GPS. Because it would actually have me turn around going back the other way. That's how stupid it is. It's going to keep doing this crap. I know, you would think, as much as I complain about this GPS, I would just get rid of it. It's easier said than done. They're expensive, and they all seem to be similarly inclined these days. You know, they've taken the kind of cool independent GPS programming out and installed paid for advertising routing. That's what they've actually done, because it's still trying to route me at least 20 miles out of my way, at least, maybe more. So annoying, but I do have a way to defeat this. I just don't like doing this because sometimes it takes it to the extreme. It doesn't give me an option to just avoid toll roads, which most of them used to anyway. This one does not give me that option, so I have to avoid highways, which can get kind of tricky. I have to know my route basically and sit and take a look at it to make sure that it doesn't take me down some, dirt road trying to avoid a highway. because avoiding a toll road is not an option. It does give me an option while it's planning the route to avoid a toll road, but it doesn't very often come up with an actual route. Most of the time it will say it's not possible to get around this without paying a toll. I mean, it's programmed to put you on the toll roads and on the interstates. That's what it's programmed to do. That's why I fight with it all the time, because it's a son of a bitch and I don't like it. It's always trying to make me go where I have no interest and no intent to go. Rough road, no kidding. It's been that way a while now, like about 40 miles. Like this is news? Okay. In fact, this road is so rough that running about 55 is, between 55 and 60 is the best I can do. I should be able to run at 60 on smooth road with these with no problem whatsoever. And I can, but running on a rough road's a different story. So, you know, it's a pain in my ass. That's why I don't like pulling doubles, because they're a pain in the ass. This is exactly why. You have to go slow. It takes more time. It increases your level of danger, at least by 2, maybe by 4. It limits your potential routing radically. And it doesn't pay anywhere near enough to make up for all of that. So, that's why I don't do it very often. Well, I'd rather not do it at all. So I basically got 2 choices. Once I get these dropped off, I could potentially just go home for the night, but it's 5 hours home from Stephenville. But I'd have to get up really super early and haul butt to get over to wherever the hell it is I'm going, Lubbock, early enough to pick something up and get it all delivered. So, I mean, I could do that if I wanted to. And it would cost me less money to do that than it would to go over here and stay at a motel, but it would cost me more time. So sometimes you have to balance the cost of the time and the cost of the money. And so I'm better off actually just heading over to Lubbock and staying over there tonight. That way I can just get up fresh in the morning and go pick up what I need to. Do all these short little hops from Lubbock to Odessa and Odessa to Amarillo. I can get those done tomorrow. And then potentially even pick up the New Mexico trailer from Amarillo, or one of them. I don't know how many there are. But I can potentially pick one of those up and get started over into New Mexico tomorrow afternoon. So we'll see how it all goes. But so I would like to go home tonight, but I probably won't, because it would add 5 hours to my driving pretty much. So it doesn't make any sense. I mean, if it was like a day in between, yeah, I would, but so I can go pick up the other one, so it's not a problem. And I know these guys were wanting these trailers before Thursday, so they're getting them Tuesday, so they should be happy. And I don't know what the schedules are at the other stores, so we'll see. See how it all goes. So I got about 2.5 more hours to go. So that'll put me there about 4 o'clock, somewhere about thereabouts. Probably need to check and see what time they close. If they close at 4, I'm going to have to call them and tell them if they want these today, they need to stay open for me. So, K2. Little difference there. Okay, there we go. Closes at 5 p.m. Good. Good, then I shouldn't have any problems, hopefully. We shall hope. So this is the slowest part of this road. It's narrow and it's twisty. And it's real hilly and it's really rough. So I just can't travel very fast through here. I'm just kind of stuck at 55, which is fine. I've crossed this country driving 55 back in the 80s, more than once. Just takes a little bit longer is all. Not that much longer. I mean, over 124 miles, the difference at 60 and 55 is negligible, like 5 minutes at most. I don't know, if you drive 55 miles an hour for 2 hours, you go 110 miles, and then you got 14 more to go. So an hour and 16 minutes maybe. If you're driving 60 miles an hour, it would be an hour and 4 minutes. So, you know, not that much difference. I guess that's more than 5 minutes, but still, it's not that big of a deal when you have the time to do it, and evidently I do. I mean, according to their closing time and all. I should not have to sweat this one. And then it doesn't matter about the other stores because I'm not going to even be over there until in the morning. I mean, I'll get over there tonight. I'll drive till I'm out of drive time, which, you know, wherever I run out of drive time is where I'll stop for the night. And then, of course, then I'll go in as early as I can get in there. They probably don't even open till 8 or 9, so I'll have to look and see when they open in the morning. Probably 8. Most of those stores I think open at 8. So I'll try and get there right after 8, so I can get started on this bunch of store transfers. So I want to say Odessa and Lubbock are about 2 hours apart, and then Amarillo is about hour and a half north of Lubbock, I think. So it's between 3 and 4 hours from Odessa. So I should be able to do those 2 legs pretty easy, and then get up. Yeah, I should be able to do this tomorrow, and then get set to go into New Mexico Wednesday, either tomorrow night or early Wednesday. But the sooner I get all this done, the quicker I can get it done, the more efficiently I can get it done, the more money I'll make on it, because that'll leave me open maybe for another job at the end of these. And I don't know how many trailers I'm hauling into New Mexico from Amarillo. It could be 1 or it could be more than 1. So he did put plural trailers. So I don't know. If that's the case, it might be better if it's a little stack. You know, just 1 trip with 2 trailers would be great, as long as it's little trailers. As long as it's something I've got enough straps to tie down, put it that way. I think I'm down to 10 straps, 10 decent straps, 8 or 10. So if it's a couple of small trailers, I ought to be all right. Okay, so it looks like 120, so I'm pretty much 2 hours away at 60 miles an hour now. That puts me there at 3:45. That's awesome. Shouldn't have to stop again. And even driving 55, they'll put me there by 4, so that's fine. I'm doing fine. I have to constantly be calculating this stuff in my head. I'm kind of what they call anal retentive about it. Just a little. Not that you'd notice or anything, right? Obsessive. I like to know where I'm at in the universe and how my time is going, you know. And I like to have the ability to control some of that a little bit. There's a lot of stuff in this world you can't control, but some stuff, you know, if you plan it right, sometimes you can. Sometimes you got a little bit of control. I like to tell myself anyway. May or may not be accurate. Ugh, this road. It's really too freaking rough. It's annoyingly rough. Okay, so it's pretty much more of the same all the way to Weatherford, so I will check back in with you in a bit. Okay, so I just had my little break. I delivered my trailers about 10 minutes ago here in Stephenville, Texas. So I'm going to get on up the road. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half, 6, 7 and a half, 8. So I can go 2.5 hours before I have to take my half-an-hour break. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't feel like taking a break right now any longer than my pit stop I just made.